Today, I am Jerby Pantinople together with Mr. Bardos and Mr. Rogelio, and we're going to discuss about the supply chain and management. So these are the learning outcomes that we're going to discuss, and we're expecting you to learn them. So what is the supply chain is? A supply chain is a key subsystem of a value chain that focuses primarily on the physical movement of goods and materials along with supporting information through the supply production distribution process. So what is supply chain? In other words, a supply chain is an entire system of producing and delivering a product or service from sourcing the raw materials to the delivery of the product or service to end users. So for example, the generic supply chain begins with the sourcing and extraction of raw materials. The raw materials are then taken by a logistics provider to a supplier, which acts as the wholesaler. The materials are taken to a manufacturer or probably to various manufacturers that refine and process them into a finished product. Afterward, it goes to a distributor that wholesales the finished product, which is delivered to a retailer. The retailer sells the product in a store to consumers. Once the consumer buys this completes the cycle. But it's the demand that then goes back and drives the production of more raw materials, and the cycle continues. Distribution centers. Distribution centers are the warehouses that act as intermediaries between factories and customers, shipping directly to customers or to retail stores where products are made available to customers. Inventory refers to raw materials, work in process, or finished goods that are maintained to support production or satisfy customer demand. So, supply chain management. The management of all activities that facilitate the fulfillment of a customer order to manufactured good to achieve satisfied customers at a reasonable cost. So, in summary, while supply chain refers to the entire system of producing and delivering a product or service, supply chain management is concerned with managing all activities involved in the production and distribution of a commodity. The Supply Chain Operations Reference or SCOR model is a framework for understanding the scope of SCM based on 5 functions. So, the first function is plan. Developing a strategy that balance resources with requirements. And the source is procuring goods and services to meet plan or actual demand. Make is transforming goods and services to a finished state to meet demand. So the fourth is deliver, managing the orders, transportation, and distribution to provide the goods and services. And the last is return, customer returns, maintenance, dealing with excess goods.
A green sustainable supply chain can be defined as the process of using environmentally friendly inputs and transforming these inputs to change agent whose byproducts can improve or be recycled within the existing environment. Ang isang green sustainable supply chain ay tumutukoy sa isang sistema kung saan ang mga material at prosesong pangkalikasan ay ginagamit upang makagawa ng mga produkto o serbisyo. Environmental performance enhancing supply chain management activities. Una, substantially decreasing scrap packaging and material losses. This involves reducing waste generated in the supply chain, such as minimizing the amount of scrap materials, optimizing packaging to reduce excess materials, and preventing losses during transportation and storage. Pangalawa, adopting paperless practices for information processing. Going paperless reduces the environmental impact by saving trees and decreasing energy consumption associated with paper production, printing, and disposal. Pangatlo, lowering expenses associated with hazardous materials. This entails minimizing the use of hazardous materials, which can be costly to manage and can have harmful environmental effects if mishandled. Increasing revenue by converting waste to byproducts. Instead of disposing of waste materials, organizations can find ways to repurpose them into valuable byproducts, creating an additional revenue stream while reducing waste. Reducing water and energy requirements, optimizing processes, and using energy efficient technologies can reduce the consumption of water and energy, which are valuable resources with environmental and cost implications. Decreasing the use and waste of solvents, paints, cleaning fluids, and other chemicals. This involves using eco-friendly alternative and practices to minimize the use and waste of potentially harmful chemicals. Selecting suppliers that support sustainability. Choosing suppliers that adhere to sustainable and environmentally responsible practices throughout their operation can help promote sustainability within the supply chains. And recovering valuable materials and assets through an efficient product take-back and recycle program. Implementing a program to collect and recycle products at the end of their life cycle helps recover valuable materials and reduces the environmental impact of disposals. Our data indicates that upwards of 60 to 70% of companies' carbon footprint is found along their supply chains, says Mrs. Annie Berger. Sustainable supply chains manufactured good recovery, such as reuse or resell, repair, refurbish, remanufacture, cannibalize parts, recycle goods, incineration, or landfill disposal. Next slide. Refers to managing the flow of finished goods materials or components that may be unusable or discarded through the supply chains from customers toward either suppliers, distributors, or manufacturers for the purpose of reuse, resale, or disposal. Reverse logistics ay ang proseso ng paghawak at pamamahala ng mga produkto o materyales na hindi na kailangan, kadalasang ibinabalik ang mga ito mula sa mga customer, pabalik sa mga suppliers, distributor or manufacturer. Kabilang dito ang mga aktibidad tulad ng muling paggamit, muling pagbebenta o wastong pagtatapon ng mga bagay na ito na naglalayong bawasan ang basura at i-maximize ang halaga. Supply chains performance. Delivery reliability, such as perfect order or fulfillment. Responsiveness, such as order fulfillment, lead time, or perfect delivery fulfillment. Customer-related measures focus on the ability of the supply chains to meet customers' wants and needs. Supply chains efficiency measures, such as average inventory value and inventory turnover. Sustainability measures such as water discharge, CO2 emissions, and energy reductions. And financial measures such as total supply chain costs and cost of processing returns and warranties. supply chain performance. The bullwhip effect results from order amplifications in the supply chains, a phenomenon that occurs when each member of supply chains orders up to buffer its own inventory. Many firms counteract this phenomenon by using common data from point of the supply chains closest to the customer's smaller order sizes, stabilizing price fluctuations, and sharing information. Next slide. Decisions in value chains. Location decisions can have a profound effect on supply chain performance and the firm's competitive advantage. The type of facility and its location affect the supply chain.
So, let us move on to the rule of transportation, supply evaluation, technology, and inventory management. But first, let us discuss the rule of transportation in supply chain management. So, the rule of transportation is in supply chain management is refers to the movement of product from one location to another. For example, I want to export a banana to another country. So I'm going to think what type of that transportation I'm going to use. We have four types of transportation: air cargo, road transport, sea freight, and rail transportation. So which one is better? Yes, the um, sea freight. So that's the rule of transportation. Next is supply evaluation. So the rule of supplier evaluation is assessing and approving potential suppliers through quantitative and qualitative assessment. So halimbawa nito, kung isa kang business owner at kailangan mo ng isang supplier, syempre mamimili ka who is better supplier for you. So, syempre, ano mo yan, i-assess mo yan. It depends sa their quality of their product, the price, yan. So, next is technology. So, um, the rule of technology in supply chain management, it make it easier to evaluate the data, gain insight, and make decisions that have direct and indirect effects on overall supply chain management. So, ito nga yung technology. Siyempre, nag improve ang ang mundo. So, siyempre, kailangan natin mapadali kung paano nga tayo makakakuha ng data, ng kung paano tayo makaka-develop ng new strategy para sa isang business. Next is inventory management. So, it's the process. It is the process of controlling the flow of goods and materials in supply chain. So, meaning it includes tracking, storage, and distributing of product, ensuring that the business have the right amount of stock at the right time and place. So, meaning if you are a business owner, syempre, ayaw mo naman na nalulugi ka. So, kailangan nagkakaroon tayo ng inventory management para malaman natin kung tama ba or ah, may kulang ba sa ating supply. So, ayan ang mga rule ng inventory management. So, kung again, kung isa kang business owner, kailangan mo matutunan ang inventory management para sa ganun ay hindi ka nalulugi at saka natatrack mo kung yung mga supply mo is tama pa ba, kung may kulang ba. That's the rule of inventory management. So, we have other issues in supply chain management. We have a vendor managed inventory. So, it's like inventory management. Parang similar lang talaga sila ng inventory management. So, yun. Same lang sila. Like what I said earlier, they are just the same. So, thank you. And that's all for our report. Again, my name is Jamar Bardos together with Chorby Pantenople and Doma Rogelio, and we hope that you gain knowledge from us. Thank you for your listening.